I always believed love was built on trust, on the quiet promises you make when no one's watching. And for a while with Emily, I thought I had finally found someone who shared that same belief. We've been engaged for 8 months. To the world, we were the perfect couple, laughing at dinners, holding hands in parks, sharing plans about our dream home and the names of children we hadn't even conceived yet. She had a spark about her. She was confident, magnetic, always the center of the room. But she also had a way of bending people, situations, and truths to her will. I thought it was charm. Maybe I just didn't want to admit it was manipulation. The signs were there, now that I look back. Subtle things at first. Her twisting my words into jokes in front of friends, playing a victim during disagreements, making me question my memory or my tone. I chalked it up to stress or poor communication. I even blamed myself. Maybe I was too sensitive, too overanalytical. We all carry our insecurities, right? But those little cuts began to deepen. She'd spend hours on her phone, giggling at messages she wouldn't let me see. I noticed a name that kept popping up, her ex. When I finally asked her about it, not even accusingly, just curious and maybe a little hurt, she erupted, called me controlling, said I was paranoid, that my jealousy was suffocating her. I apologized just to calm the storm, told myself love was compromise, that if we were going to build a life together, I had to trust her, even when everything inside me screamed not to. Things unraveled fast after that. She grew colder, more distant. She'd disappear for hours without explanation, come home with half stories and empty excuses. I felt like a stranger in my own relationship, but I still held on. I still hoped. Then came the night that destroyed everything. I came home from work, exhausted, only to find our apartment in chaos. The couch was flipped, picture frames shattered, glass crunched underfoot. Emily was on the floor, sobbing, her face streaked with tears. I ran to her, panicked, but before I could even speak, she backed away like I was the monster in the room. "You did this," she whispered. "You were so angry you lost control." I stared at her, stunned. We hadn't spoken since the morning. There was no fight, no shouting, no violence, just silence, confusion. Then came the knock. 2 police officers stood at our door. Emily pointed at me and told them I had attacked her, destroyed the apartment, and threatened her life. I couldn't breathe. I tried to speak, but she had scratches on her arms, a tremble in her voice, and a story that sounded real enough to ruin me. They cuffed me right there. And as they walked me out, I looked at her one last time. She wasn't crying anymore. Her tears had stopped the moment I was in chains. She leaned in and whispered, "Enjoy jail, loser." And then she smirked. I spent 2 nights in a holding cell that smelled like sweat and despair. It was cold, cramped, and full of faces I didn't recognize but would never forget. My name was dragged through whispers at work. I was suspended pending investigation. My parents were devastated, calling me through tears, asking how this could happen. And still, I had no words, just shock and silence. But sometimes, fate leaves a thread, and I had one, thin as it was. Months ago, after a break-in scare, I had installed a small, hidden security camera in our living room. I'd forgotten about it. Honestly, I thought it barely worked. But when my lawyer asked if I had any kind of proof, I remembered. I prayed as we reviewed the footage. And there it was. Emily, calm and collected, methodically flipping furniture, knocking things down, raking her nails across her skin, dialing 911 and working up fake tears. Watching her act out the entire scene made my stomach turn. It was like seeing someone wear your partner's face, but with none of their soul behind it. Just calculation. Just cold theater. We submitted the footage. The charges against me were dropped immediately. And this time, it was Emily who got the knock at the door. She was arrested for filing a false report and tampering with evidence. The mask slipped, and this time, the world saw what was underneath. I walked free, but I wasn't the same. Freedom isn't always about open doors. It's about healing the bruises you can't show. My reputation, my peace, my sense of reality had all been shaken. But my friends stood by me. My family didn't just believe me. They fought with me. Slowly, I began to rebuild. I started therapy. I stopped blaming myself. I stopped wondering what I could have done differently. Some people wear masks so convincingly, they convince even themselves. Maybe she did it out of spite. Maybe she wanted attention, or revenge, or control. I'll never truly know. And that's okay. I stopped searching for answers the day I started choosing peace. Now, months later, I'm not just healing. I'm growing. Emily is gone. Her voice, her chaos, her lies, gone. And in their place, there's space to breathe, to think, to just be. I'm learning to trust again, not others, but myself. To honor my instincts. To never ignore red flags, even when they come with a beautiful smile and sweet words. What happened to me was cruel. It was calculated. But in the end, it set me free from a future I didn't know would destroy me. Sometimes life breaks you just to show you what was fake. And sometimes surviving is its own kind of justice.